Sonoma County is facing an acute shortage of affordable housing, making it increasingly difficult for many to continue residing in the North Bay. Mike Johnson, the CEO of Habitat for Humanity in Sonoma County, is surveying the site where Habitat will soon be installing temporary housing for survivors of the October 2017 wildfires. These Sonoma cottages are a pilot program.
So these are a couple of the units. There's going to be about 8 or 10 of them that are about the same size, 450, 550 square feet.
4 companies are building distinct Sonoma cottage prototypes, according to plans by architect Marianne Cusado. This Gigacrete cottage employs steel frames and proprietary building materials. Habitat is evaluating the benefits of each prototype for future projects.
A unit like this, for example, you can see up around the eaves, there's no wood to catch fire. Right? So in a traditional building, that's typically where the fire tends to grab hold, is under the eaves. So a building like this is going to be a lot more fire resistant than a typical build technology would be.
Connect Homes provided the second cottage that Mike is surveying today.
This is a sort of a typical layout. We're in the living room of this unit at the moment. So when you walk back here, you've got bathrooms and 2 bedrooms. All right. So this would be the bathroom area. The living room and kitchen would all be in the front part. And then you have 1 small and 1 master bedroom. So even though it's small and compact, you can get a family of 3 or 4 people into this one unit, 550 square feet.
As Habitat ramps up its efforts in Sonoma County, the nonprofit is also broadening its focus.
Habitat's mission generally is to serve people who are in the 60 to 80% of AMI, right, which is area median income, or in the low income category. But we also want to look at ways that we can serve people in the moderate income category, because they're struggling just as hard to make it in this expensive county as people who are in the lower income categories. And those folks don't have access to a lot of the benefits and services that people in the low income category do.
Habitat will construct a prefab factory and warehouse this year. Mike says building smaller, faster, cheaper, higher, and denser will be crucial to expand local home ownership.
More rental housing is great, but it's not the same living in a rental as it is living in a home that you own. When you can afford your mortgage, you can save. You can invest in your children's educations. You can invest in your community. You can volunteer. You can do all sorts of things that folks who are struggling to make ends meet can't do.
A shortage of local construction labor is another building impediment.
There's a lot of building going on now, which is a great thing, but what that means is that it's difficult to find people to build. We're about 19,000 skilled workers short to build the 30,000 or so homes that we need to recover.
Habitat is partnering with the Santa Rosa Junior College to train students in prefab construction.
Santa Rosa Junior College's students will be working side by side with Habitat staff in our prefab factory to learn prefabrication skills. And then those same folks would go on to help build on Habitat work sites.
Nancy Miller, the director of the Junior College's Regional Adult Education Program, is leading construction training development.
One of the areas of biggest need for workforce preparation prior to the fires in October 2017 was construction trades, including landscaping. We just didn't have enough workers in that area.
The JC hopes to increase the number of students it trains in construction-related fields from 150 students a year to 500.
Increased wages and full-time employment are 2 of the goals that we're hoping to accomplish by training people in the construction trades. Our building plan is really over a 10-year period, so we're trying to address long-term employment in construction as well.
Nancy and her colleagues are pursuing funding to build a construction training facility on campus. Students will train in the Habitat prefab factory until the school's own facilities come online.
Having a partner like Habitat provides a realistic opportunity as opposed to building a shed or a bird box or a picnic bench. We're building homes, and so there's a realistic process.
Finding better, faster ways of doing this kind of work is the only way we're going to build our way out of this situation.
Habitat plans to build 600 homes in the next 8 years.
The idea with prefabbing is that you can build parts of a home ahead of things like foundations and site work, right? So even before you begin grading a site like the one we're on now, you can begin building panels for the houses that will eventually be built on that site. So it really compresses the build times, right? Which saves a lot of money and allows us to build more houses each year.
Habitat remains optimistic about prefab's potential, but challenges remain. Mike says many builders and planning departments are not yet accustomed to prefab building methods, slowing down the widespread adoption of these new technologies.
We've been doing things the same basic way for 50 years now. So the technology exists to do things differently. It's changing the way we think. That's the hard part.